Today we're going to discuss eliminating wordiness from our writing. Good writers avoid unnecessary words. Notice that I said the word unnecessary. Details are important and details require words. Essentially, writers should strive to say exactly what they want to say without eliminating important details in as few words as possible. To do this, writers should choose every word carefully. One way to say what you want to say in as few words as possible is to focus on strong verbs. To help you focus on strong verbs, this video will discuss limiting linking verbs, limiting passive voice, and limiting nominalizations. Most verbs, as we know, depict actions. When we hear a verb, we can picture the action depicted. When we hear the verb vote, we can picture the action occurring. When we hear the verb celebrate, we can picture the action occurring. Not all verbs are action verbs though. Think of the word was, as in the sentence, Theo was class president last year. Nothing happens in this sentence. The word was is a verb, but it does not depict an action. When used alone, without any other verbs, the word was is a linking verb. A linking verb connects the subject of a clause to the rest of the clause, which describes or renames the subject. Common linking verbs include am, is, are, was, were. Linking verbs should not be, in fact, they cannot be, eliminated entirely from our writing. However, writers should limit the use of linking verbs. Too many linking verbs will weaken our writing. Writers should look at every sentence that includes a linking verb and determine if the sentence can be revised to include an action verb instead. Consider this sentence. Good grades are necessary for students who hope to receive academic scholarships. Notice the linking verb are. This sentence can be revised to eliminate the linking verb. Students who hope to receive academic scholarships need good grades. Often, a linking verb in a clause can be eliminated by adding the information in the clause to another clause. Let's look at an example. Jason is the tallest player on the 9th grade basketball team. He can already dunk the ball. Notice the linking verb is. By adding the information from the first sentence to the second sentence, we can eliminate the word is. Jason, the tallest player on the 9th grade basketball team, can already dunk the ball. Notice the linking verb is in the first clause. This linking verb can be eliminated easily. As manager, Shanice is in charge of creating our schedules. This is a better sentence. However, it can still be improved. There is another linking verb that can be eliminated. We can eliminate this linking verb by thinking of an action verb that means the same as is in charge of creating. Consider this revision. As manager, Shanice creates our schedules. The original sentence is 13 words. The final sentence, which gives the same information, is only 6 words. This makes the final sentence a better sentence. Now, don't misunderstand the point here. The final sentence is not better just because it is shorter. It is better because it presents the same information in fewer words. Now you try. Eliminate the linking verbs in the following sentences. Push the pause button as you think. Another way to cut out unnecessary words is to watch out for passive voice. Passive voice occurs when the subject of the sentence does not perform the action in the sentence. Here is an example. Every year, the Boston Marathon is run by my aunt. This sentence has an action. The subject, the Boston Marathon, does not perform the action. Here's another example. The criminal was arrested by an undercover officer. This sentence also has an action. Once again, the subject does not perform that action. In most cases, writers should avoid passive voice and use active voice instead. In active voice, the subject performs the action in the sentence. In the first sentence, my aunt performs the action. We can turn this passive voice sentence into an active voice sentence by making my aunt the subject. Every year, my aunt runs the Boston Marathon. In the second sentence, an undercover officer performs the action. Let's make the undercover officer the subject to give this sentence active voice. An undercover officer arrested the criminal. Now you try. Turn the following passive voice sentences into active voice sentences. I mentioned earlier that writers should generally choose active voice over passive voice. There are times, though, when passive voice is preferable, but we're not going to get into that right here. For more information on passive voice, go to www.grammargrounds.com. Click on Index, and then click on Passive Voice. Finally, I'd like to discuss limiting nominalizations, which will also help you as a writer focus on strong verbs and eliminate wordiness. Nominalizations are verbs or other parts of speech that are transformed into nouns. Here are some examples. Investigate is a verb. Investigation is a nominalization of investigate. Enjoy is a verb. Enjoyment is a nominalization of enjoy. Often, writers will use weak verbs and nominalizations instead of strong verbs. Using weak verbs and nominalizations will create wordy, cumbersome sentences. Consider this sentence. She made the decision to withdraw from her history class. The verb in this sentence is made. Can you picture this action occurring? It is probably difficult because made is a weak, imprecise verb. Decide, though, is a stronger, more precise verb. Compare the first sentence to this sentence. She decided to withdraw from her history class. Let's look at a few more examples. As I said earlier, writers should limit nominalizations. However, like with linking verbs and passive voice, writers should not eliminate nominalizations altogether. To learn when you should use nominalizations, visit www.grammargrounds.com, click on Index, and click on Nominalizations. The rest of this video will give you additional practice, limiting linking verbs, passive voice, and nominalizations so that you can avoid writing wordy sentences. I hope you've enjoyed this video. For more information and resources, visit www.grammargrounds.com.